Welcome, 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 everybody, to yet another show of Saskia Mahler Show with an incredible, beautiful guest. I must tell you before I even introduce her to you, like finally we hit the record button here. We're already having coffee together for like an hour and we have such an awesome connection and we were just chatting nonstop until we hit the break. I'm like, whoa. We got here purpose of sharing you, beautiful, dear listeners. So thank you so much for coming in. And let me introduce to you today, wonderful Christina. Hi.
Hi. So nice to be here. And yes, it's also, I think, interesting to mention that we both had a chat like for 1 hour in German. And now it's like if we switch to another dimension, and I'm just like, okay, let's start to speak in English. And I'm so happy to be here and looking so forward for about everything we will discuss and share and brainstorm together without any agenda and any plan, just diving into the rabbit hole.
That sounds good. Yes. And I can feel you. Like usually the plan was for you, dear listeners, to first start in English to keep our accent at bay. Because honestly, once you drop back into your mother tongue and then switch to another language, like the accent is full blown, as you might hear right now. And I can feel also my synapses really like twitching a little bit. Like, is this German? Is this English now? Like, brain, stay with me, please. Don't leave me here. No. But it's a good thing. We're women, so the voice keeps going even if the brain is turned off, So that's a very, very good quality and skill we got.
And you do.
So if we drop back.
Yes, you do so good, Saskia. Like, I mean, you can even joke on English. I mean, that's already, you are already on another level to drop the jokes in not your mother tongue language. Yeah, quite impressed.
Well, thank you. One day I can make jokes about German accents. So far, not yet. That's when we're talking.
Oh.
So, Christina, you are actually, I do not know how to pronounce your yoga school. You are the owner of?
Yeah, it's a good question.
KIJU yoga?
Yeah, it's KIJU yoga. KIJU yoga, like both is fine. Like, because it's not like a name, how to say, like with a pronunciation. It's really only kind of about the letters, because like the K is for like KI. It's like for my short name from Kiki. The two first letters are the K and the I, and then the J. Oh my God, is this now in English, right? J and the U for my last name, for Janker. And also like the I and the U and the logo is for me and you. So like it's kind of and I think this is also like what the yoga philosophy is about, like about you and me and you. We are one, like the way to oneness. So it's kind of like not like a name about like the KIJU or the KIJU. It's like really the initials with the meaning, of this meaning behind it. Yeah.
Very, very beautiful, especially when we think that it comes from your family name and you translate it into you, as if your family is you basically, or the oneness. So that's a very beautiful transformation you created with your name. I love that. And so your yoga school, why I have you here today is because I just really love your vibe, your energy instantly when I come onto your profile. So I found you via Miri, who was a podcast guest of both of us recently. And I was just like, wow, she is so glowing and warm and straightforward. And the theme you're presenting instantly caught my attention. Like, you introduce yourself in the web as on the digital platforms as expert for manifestation and expert for inner childhood or child wound healing, and all that in combination with spirituality, with realizing your spiritual self which I so love in the combination of manifestation. Because when you look into manifestation, yes, nowadays all the spiritual gurus are screaming, manifestation, manifestation, which I think for most people is total BS. It's total bullshit. Like, most people do not know anything about manifestation and think just rolling around on bed all day long and manifesting with orgasms is the way to go. I really don't believe so. I think like really sitting down, having your vision board clear, doing the work step for step, and really having a strong foundation of technique and strategy behind. That's what manifestation actually does. And of course, the spiritual work is to be like, yes, I do want that. Yes, I do have that vision. Yes, this is my purpose. I'm born to do that. And so that's something that instantly caught out for me when I'm looking at you, is that you have both. You have that lightness of living in a more spiritually infused way. You have that roundness, this dots connected. But I can also instantly see you're a really grounded person. You have your strategy, you have your system together, you put in the work, you're reliable, you're like grounded, very, very grounded. And so that made me instantly believe that your method of manifestation and of healing must work, because you are a beautiful, embodied, walking, talking example of that. I mean, you run a successful business, you're living in a beautiful environment in Dubai, yeah, which is the dream for many people, and 99% of this planet inaccessible to do so. And you have, even we talked before this interview started, you have so many passions that you turned into awesome products. It's almost too much to handle, and sometimes can cause quite some confusion inside, right? So you have an overload, you're overflowing with useful, valuable creativity, which is like, okay, that's manifestation. Here we're talking, okay? So tell us, I'm curious, how do you connect the dots? Well, first of all, what's your definition of manifestation, and how do you connect the dots to childhood healing or inner child work? Why are they belonging into one sentence together?
Wow. Like, I love your question. Like, at first, like, I'm so happy that it seems at least one person read my bio and was so conscious and intelligent to really think, okay, like, there's a meaning for it. Like, why I connected, because for me, manifestation and inner child work, for me, it's just so obvious that they are next to each other. But yes, you're so right. Like, why am I writing these both like together, like in a one-liner? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's a really amazing question. And also, thank you so much for this. How do you call it if your cheeks get red? Like, if I'm
blush. To blush.
Yeah, it was so. Wow, yeah, it was so, yeah, thank you so much for these kind words. I really appreciate, because like maybe at first, it was such a nice and beautiful reminder. I think it's important that we never compare ourselves to the life of someone else, because like at the end, and this is what I realize, it's all about our inner peace. What I'm meaning with it. And why I also think that at one point my manifestations came through when I did the inner work, because we both also spoke, like before our call started, about you take your baggage everywhere you go. You just take it with you. And sometimes I remind myself also, like, about all the things like I can be grateful for. And one point about the manifestation is that the manifestation doesn't work if we're not grateful for what we already have, for what we really love. And so when I really dive and make my deep dive into starting with my spiritual practice and with all the inner work, I just realized how important it is to be grateful for what you are already having, while you meanwhile heading and looking forward to your manifestations. So it's kind of a paradox. like you need to be in the present moment to manifest and to bring all the emotions you wish you experience in your future into your like actual life and in your present life. But that means the way to manifestation is already a healing journey. So I will also like now start like a little bit, how to say, ein bisschen zurückrudern, like
you're gonna go a few steps backwards. Yeah.
Yes, I go some few steps backwards, like about, I don't know also where like all your listeners like standing, if someone maybe never heard about manifestation. So I like to make the very simple example of if we really going fully back in time. If there was like, if the universe didn't exist, not the earth, like how are all the scientists try to explain how all of the experience we are having now, like who created that? And like what is the theory behind the Big Bang theory, kind of? And I just think like whatever someone is believing, if we're believing in a higher power, if we're believing in the universe and the power of love and the power of now in God, this power, and it's so connected like to the yoga philosophy, like what was the first sound in the universe? It was the Om. So who had the idea to make the sound? And who had the idea to create the world, to create the thought, and not to create the world, to create the life? So what was there behind all of that? There was an intention. There was a thought. So the thought is the intention, and this was the intention for the manifestation, like the intention for the manifestation later to create like everything, like all that is. There was a thought to create like all that is. And in all that is, and I'm meaning like in all that is, like in you, in me, and even in my coffee in front of me, and in just everything, in all that is this intention, like this manifestation, like this thought. So this is why all the spiritual people are speaking about we are all interconnected, or we are all connected, of course, because this thought, it's just flowing in everything around us. This thought, this intention is everywhere. And through this expansion that like all the time more and more and more creates, like the universe is just expanding, like it takes like one more breath after the other. And at the same time, while the universe is expanding, it's all the time the same breath. So what I'm meaning with it, it's all the time only that moment. It's all the time only that one moment, that one present moment. So what I'm also trying to say is, okay, to come one step back, we are manifesting with our thoughts, like with our intentions. And if we are now speaking not from a higher perspective and from a human perspective, when we all have been get born on the world, we went through our own life path. And we all had like challenges, we all had like we went through the hell, through the heaven. And through this journey, we were stuck in patterns, or we had like some special behaviors. And if we are not clear with our intentions, and this is what I'm meaning when it's now about the part of the inner work, if we're not clear about our intentions, if we're not knowing, why do I want to achieve that? Why do I want to live in Dubai? Why do I want to have this kind of relationship? Why do I want to have $1 million? Why do I want to have this job? Why do I want to work with people? What is really my intention behind everything? And when we are coming like to this world, we are all born with an ego. So to really see what is coming, what is my soul mission, and what do I really want to, what imprint I want to let in this world. We can only find it out if we're willing to go inwards, if we're willing to go back to source, to the creator who had the thought of the manifestation. So it's again the paradox. And if we want to reach there, we need to go inwards. This is what we're doing like in the yoga. It's not a work out, it's a work in. It's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So, this is why for me it's like, obviously you can't manifest, because if you don't do the inner work, you actually, in my opinion, don't know who you are and what you want in life. And your manifestations will only work and be aligned if you believe in your manifestations. And you can't believe in your manifestations if you're not knowing who you are. Because if you know who you are, you know which power you have to create actually everything. Because you have been at the first time the God, like the God energy. Because the thought at the beginning, the thought was coming from you. Like, I don't know who's still following me, but I see you can follow me. So, it's just a fucking deep work. I don't have any other words for it. But yes, this is why, like, really, the inner child healing is so important, to go then to the spiritual practice of the manifestation. And I mean, you even don't have to be so spiritual. As you mentioned, you also can only have your simple practices, which explain you on a rational level the power or how our manifestations work. What I'm trying to say is, like, if you just want to get a new job, if you just want to move out of your house, if you just want to go out of your relationship, everything is starting with your intention. So you just need to have a plan for everything. And this is also, I think, what you mentioned. Of course, manifestation is not only like I'm thinking about and sitting in my place front of a crystal, and I think everything will just work out from itself. Of course, you need to do the work. And you need, of course, to do at first the manifestation work, and then you also need to do the inner work. Like you need to go backward to create everything what is following up, like what is following what is in front of you, like kind of.
So you mean like you need to clean up your past in order to walk into the future? That's kind of like what I'm getting here. Like, to be able to move forward, you have to clean up what is behind you. And I definitely agree with you here. Like, I can feel sometimes when I have a huge next big step in front of me for my life, there comes this moment like, wait, you suddenly feel the heavy baggage you carry. And sometimes it is clear I cannot climb up that next level mountain when I keep carrying what I got here. That's not going to work out. I have to let go of some baggage. I have to let go of some weight to actually make it up there. Or I also realized that while renovating the Airbnb, there was a moment I emotionally completely lost it. Like, I was so frustrated, I was so annoyed, and I actually stepped into this victim role where suddenly it was not like before I had, okay, it's a new project, new challenges will come up. That's what I'm here for. I'm gonna keep learning, I'm gonna embrace the challenges, I'm gonna get stronger and better and keep riding it like a wave. That was my beginning vibe. And also when like a big challenge came, I was like, oh, I'm actually just a surfer. And now I get a really big wave to surf because universe thinks I'm capable of riding that wave. But at one point suddenly it flipped and I went back into like an old pattern of mine, mental, emotional pattern. And I was like, oh, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Oh no, I don't want to do that. Why am I being punished? And everything is abandoning me, and that's like betrayal. And then I started to neglect myself, and all my childhood wounds started to come up again. And what happened was not only everything sucked, instead of surfing. Everything just sucked. Everything was a burden. And the next thing was I became incapable of solving the problems presented because I was so occupied in my mind with my own victim role. Like my entire past, my belief systems, they just came there. And it was a massive gray cloud and I could not see the way no more. It was impossible until I sat down with myself, went inward and really had that honest and straight conversation with me. Like, girl, you wanted that? You want to play big boss woman? Get your shit together. Pack your stuff together. Let's get going. Behave accordingly. And I had both conversations. I had a very tough conversation with myself. Yeah. Because sometimes I'm like a teenager and I need to put myself into a place. And then I also had a gentle conversation. Okay, so what's actually happening? What really is coming up here? And I'm like, oh, it's about that thing in my childhood. Okay, let's pat you a little bit on the shoulder. Let's embrace you. Let's take care of you. Let's ensure you're safe now. Regulate and then keep moving forward, you know? So I definitely just experienced that in the last couple of weeks. Like, you have to clean up your shit before you can move forward.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it's too steep and it's too heavy. It won't work out. And you just don't see the way no more. That's the next thing.
And may I ask you a question, like, because of the manifestation, I think this is very interesting also, like, for your listeners and your community, that you're speaking about that you wanted to do the Airbnbs. So was this a actual manifestation? How long did you thought about that? Was it coming to you? Like, was it a calling? Because like this is actually also something like you mentioned. I mean, it's the same for you. You live, by the way, on my dream island. So let's see when I will move there. And I mean, like, this is also like you're doing what you love. I mean, I now just realized, and this is so funny, like, I mean, I'm thinking to start this year, my first teacher training. And Saskia was just like, yeah, I mean, how much was it? Was it 300 teacher trainings you assisted? I was like, oh my God, like, I can learn a lot from you. So this is so impressive. And yeah, and now you're saying you're making the Airbnbs on Kopanjan. And I think this is the same, as you mentioned, all the challenges this brings, we can be in gratitude, because like, I mean, as you said, this is a dream life of other people. Before you and I started the call today, it was like, okay, let's start 20 minutes later because I'm on the instruction and I need to check something with the Airbnb. And this is for you maybe like a kind of a stress, and let's say maybe like a negative stress, but this is just amazing. And this is just like something which, like, the other side of, if you're going and heading to your dream life, to work now with real estate, and to to have like the Airbnbs. And yes, it's not all the time easy, but this is then like when you need to be ready for your manifestations. This is also so important. So I think you can sing maybe also a song about that. Like, you need to be ready for the manifestations. So we need to trust and to be ready for the manifestations, because the universe delivers what we are, what we really deep down think what we deserve. And if we're not doing the inner work, we have all the limiting beliefs our inner child has, like, I'm not deserving it, I'm not enough, or I'm feeling guilty about something, it's not safe to live an abundant life, or even the people around me will judge me because if I live that life, other people will be jealous. I mean, I just shared with you also honesty before our call, that I'm sometimes also asking myself, I don't want that people come on my account and to give them like a negative feeling, like kind of, okay, that they are sitting in their home and are not happy with their life. But I think what I can just like as like advice give to everyone, I was already like in my own life, in the old life, then so grateful for what I did. And I think then it really doesn't matter where you are. And now I'm at a state like, it doesn't matter really like where I am. And I really, maybe for some people that sounds strange, but I like going back to a 9 to 5 is like, it's way out of my mind. Like I know this will like, this will just not happen in the life. Like this would really not be my mission. But like, I'm not thinking about, the place where I am when I'm really connected, when I'm on my mission. Like, you know what I'm getting? Like all these thoughts we are having when we are in a 9 to 5, we're worrying about so unimportant things, you know? And this was like when my journey and my healing journey really started, when I started to appreciate like all the small things. Like sometimes I'm looking back and I thought when I left Germany, at first I thought, oh wow, I just want to go back, because I was happy just to stand up in the morning at 5, go out, watching the stars, watching the sunrise, having a morning walk, listening to a podcast, speaking with my friends, meeting my friends. And this is what I also like realize now. And I think for you it's the same. Like if you're also, I think it takes also the price if you're leaving your family, if you're leaving your hometown, etc. But like on all that, like nothing of the things you want to manifest will make you happy if you're not really already happy with everything around you. And you can only be happy with everything around you when you do the inner work. And when you understand, why can I not be happy now?
Yes.
Then you can just delete all of your manifestations, because like then also like not your Airbnbs will make you happy if you're not already enjoying all the like the whole journey to it. Like for me, it's also like, wow, it just sounded so nice. I mean, when we had like also when we spoke on our voice messages and I heard the construction going on in the background, I was like, yes, this is the next step in the life, like to check the Airbnbs, etc., and to go into real estate. So yeah, just to the point, like being grateful for what we have. Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like how you're saying this, we need to enjoy the process. Otherwise, we will never enjoy the result. And I see many people do the mistake that they're like, okay, I have to enjoy the process, so only do what I enjoy. Well, I'm like, no. Here is the big shift. You got to learn to enjoy doing what it takes to get what you want. Yeah. And that's a huge difference. It's such a huge difference to only do what's pleasurable or to find pleasure in everything you do. And I think this really is the healing work, because eventually when we look to tie it really to inner child work, like a child, of course, children have the full grown personality. They can walk, they have their personality. It's crazy. Even as toddlers already, you can see it. Yet, and their preferences and what they like, what they not so like. But a child is infinitely curious. Their mind is so vast open until they do something, and unless you tell them that this emotion or what they feel, why they do something is negative, they don't connotate it as negative. Like as children, we were always completely wet from sweat because we were just running around and sweating and doing and playing and exploring and adventures. And it was until then an adult says like, ooh, you're so sweaty, you must have an exhausting day, that must be hard, your body must hurt. Then it's like, oh, really? Oh, this is negative. And then suddenly this bliss from running around turns into, this is exhausting, this is not so good, you know? And or the same, we see it all the time with children. Unless you get scared when they fall, they just fall, they crash, they get back up, they shake it off, and they keep going, you know?
I love
it's the
that.
Mother or like anybody else, like, oh, you fell, and then the child starts crying because they mimic it. And so when we look at that, I think bringing back up your deep child you have inside is the key, actually. It's what I'm realizing right now, to manifestation, because this opens your curiosity.
Yes.
It opens your mind to be like, whatever is there to do, it's fun. Like this planet, it's just fun. This life, it's freaking fun. Like, what the heck? This all is fun, you know? It's just adventure and exploration. Every single, even Excel spreadsheets can be fun and exploration, you know? And I think this is the important part, to learn to be curious and open to everything we do. Again, take away the, it's exhausting, I'm not good at that, that sucks. And then manifestations also become easy, because we stop doing it for the sake of the outcome. We start doing it because we enjoy doing it, actually.
100%. I love that. And as you said, like, it's like with the yoga philosophy. Yoga is a lifestyle. Yoga is a decision. It's the decision to go to the way of unity. And it's the same with manifestation. Manifestation is a lifestyle. You can't only think, okay, I make one time a manifestation ritual and then my manifestations will come true. You have to show up for yourself, for the others, for your manifestations every day in the morning, every evening before you're going to bed. It's just like, it's a lifestyle you need to be passionate about. You need to believe in the power of manifestation. You need to believe in your dreams, in your thoughts. And this is also why the manifestation journey alone is a healing process, because you need to remind yourself every day to believe in yourself, to believe in your dreams, even if all, and I have the same, oh my God, I had just this week, I was overwhelmed. When I picked up and needed to really now finalize the dates for my first teacher training. And this is why I really started my mission. And I was like, oh my God, am I ready for it? Is it not the right time to do it? Can I do it? And all the doubts, and I was sitting there and crying for 3 hours. Like, it started with an amazing day, and then just the pressure came up. And this were like my experiences I did in my human body, because my conscious awareness knew all the time, and my higher self was talking to me that before we are getting what we want, we will be tested by the universe. Do you want to do it? And all the doubts and the negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, they will just show up million more times and even louder. So I just had like 2 days where I was more off. And what helped me in this time? My spiritual practice, the breathwork in the morning, sitting in the sunlight, grounding myself. And then I woke up on another time with even more ideas. And I was like, oh my God, now I know like what the next steps are. And yes, and this is like what, even if we're manifesting, even if we are heading to our dream life, I think it's so important for everyone to know we will experience like stronger emotions and every emotions in every state, every thoughts. But it's about to becoming the observer, to just know, okay, now Christina, you're sitting here, you have this small mental breakdown, it will just pass away, and it's also fine. This is why we choose to came here, to experience this, like to experience like all the fears. And at the end, it's about, as you said, how we are reacting to it. Like, the children are the biggest mirror for the parents and the other way around. So I loved your example. When the child is falling, you can see it. If the mother is in a shock moment, like, oh my God, the child starts to cry. And if you go to the child and if you're just doing like nothing happens, then the child laughs. So it's also like, this is like where all the programming starts, like in the first 6 years. So, our childhood is so important, like and how our childhood has been like later for all our manifestations, about the beliefs which our family had, how we were conditioned, if they were pushing us to our dreams, or if we had parents which were like dream crusher and because they didn't knew it better and didn't believe in their own dreams. And so everything is just so interconnected. Yeah.
Do you have any tips for us? Be like, okay, I'm ready. It's time now to live my own dreams. Where to start?
Yes. I would put it in 3 categories: about like a daily life, about what you could do for the inner child healing, and about some manifestation tips. Like if this sounds good for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, because what I learned now on my journey was that, and this is what I did like when I had like my own small mental breakdown this week, that nothing works if we do not do the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are so easy. We have all access to them for free. And with what I'm meaning is hydrate your body, move your body. It doesn't matter if you're doing a yoga class, if you're going to the gym, if you're going for a run, if you're doing a dance workout, or if you're just dancing. Do something what makes your body sweat. Go into nature, ground yourself, and it doesn't matter if it's warm or if it's cold. If it's cold, even better, go to the snow, have an ice bath. Like, just go out. The sun is shining. Even the sun is all the time there, even if the clouds are above. Go 20 minutes for a walk. We all know in Germany we call it like Waldbaden, like forest bathing. Like if you're just go out and ground yourself. So before you start with everything, meditation, breathwork, etc., just do this simple steps and check what you're eating, check what you're listening to, what you're doing. It does not have to be so complicated, you know. Like I think, like you, Saskia, and I with our clients, we work also like in more complex things. Like if you really go then into inner child work or in trauma healing, especially for women, like in all the womb healing. But also that it needs the grounding. It needs the grounding. You need to be grounded in your root chakra. And the best grounding for that is really to be connected to the nature, to be connected. And you can connect to nature everywhere. Like even in the biggest city, you can ground yourself. So at first, ground yourself, because when you ground yourself, you will realize what matters, what do you want, you will have a clear mind, etc. So I would really recommend that for everyone in their daily life. I realized that even if you're tired, you don't need your coffee. Just go 20 minutes and sit only in the sun. I mean, it's for free. You even don't have to move. Just sit in the sun. It's just like, it's amazing what happens to your hormones, like to everything like in your body. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is sometimes I really realize by myself, wow, just do the simplest things and you're just feeling so much better. Mm-hmm. And when it's about like to start with inner work, maybe you can also share then like what your thoughts are about that or how you started. I would really, when we really go with the inner child, about the inner child healing, I would just say start with an inner child meditation. There are also today like so many offers like in the internet, or search a person, a therapist or a coach, whatever, someone who supports you with this journey, because at the end, of course, you cannot only do one inner child meditation. You need then to really find out what are your protection shields and how is your inner child, what is really the strategy for your inner child. And it's also important when your inner child is active in your day life, if your trigger is coming up, be more soft with yourself. Like, for example, if my inner child is loud, if she's screaming, I cannot shout at her or just think, I will put you now in the other room, because then she would exactly experience what she experienced like in her childhood. So I need to switch to my higher self and to speak gentle to her. So like a tip would be like, have compassion with yourself, with your feelings, like especially for all the women, like really be good to your body. Just listen to your body. Speak kind to yourself. Speak kind to your inner child. Like speak to her and ask her, what are you feeling now? Why do you have this fear? Why are you reacting, especially like in partnerships? I think they are our biggest, like, the biggest
Mirror.
place for do the healing.
Mirror. Yes.
I just saw you want to say something to that. And yeah, really take your inner child in the arms and don't do the things your parents did like to you when you were younger, and be the mother and the father to yourself. And then also you can expect that, or then also other people around you will treat you different if you at first start to treat yourself different. Like, I think this would be like one advice.
That's a big one. Like, that's a huge one. In general, in a childhood work, many people think it just means sitting in meditation and visualizing your child and listening. While this isn't part for that, I find the biggest part really is to be your own parent. Be exactly the person you needed when you were a child, because this is still a person you need right now. Like right now, yes, our body might not be the body of a child no more, but when we look onto this infinite lifespan that we have, our spirit or soul, however you want to call it, at least when we all believe into reincarnation, and even not, like even in Christianity, which says we go to heaven or hell, there's an eternal life.
Yes.
Our being is more than 1 million years old. It's so much, we cannot even put it into years, billion, trillion, how much ever, 1 million trillion something, yeah? Our body might now not be a child no more. And so while our body is evolving quite quickly from being a baby to becoming adult, becoming a senior, your spirit evolves on a much, much, much slower pace. So what you needed as a child is just the pure form of what your spirit is needing since 100 lifetimes and for the next 100 lifetimes, basically. And it is our job alone to give that to ourselves. And I see this as a great source of unhappiness and sickness and mental illness and suffering in many people. To expect other people treating them how they don't even treat themselves. Like at the end, I hear it so often when and I was there myself, I'm in a toxic relationship and this man is so toxic and the way he's talking to me and doing this and that to me, where I'm like, no. This is not, he might be doing that, but he's doing that to you. That's you. You putting yourself in front of that person. Yes. It's like, this is you. Of course, I get it. Sometimes it's really hard to I'm not judging anyone here. I cannot put myself even into what it means to be a wife with 3 children, married to a hyper-toxic person. I cannot imagine, okay, especially when financial dependency and everything comes in. Different story. But even there, at the end, nobody will rescue you but you yourself. There's people that will help you get out of that, of course, but you need to go and say, I need the help, and you need to be the driving force. Exactly. You are the motor in your life. And so I think this is very important. Be like, you got to treat yourself the way you need it. And that's the only way to receive that treatment from outside, including the universe.
Exactly. Yeah, this is so deep. And I also think if we are worrying about anything, will we be safe in our life? Will we be provided in all kind of ways? I think it's important, as you said, God is showing up to us through everyone and everything around us. God is showing up through your partner, male, female, through your children, through the friends around you. I mean, I just said when we started today our call, I was sending you were sending to me from heaven. It was so interesting that we just started to talk and you were giving me randomly advices about just some topics where I just wow, okay, you were just the channel and God was speaking through you. And I think this is so important to understand. So I mean, if we're now having a toxic partner, wow, very different topic. We're like, but just a small thing to add to that, what you said, like, so if you're having toxic partners, it doesn't mean that like through the partner, then some people would think, okay, then the devil must speak through my partner because God cannot do those things. But then we are again here, like God created that world with the ups and the downs. So, all of that are just like experiences. But as you said, like at the end, we are responsible for everything around us. And if we are doing the inner work, then we will be in another partnership. Your partnership is reflecting exactly to you where you are at life. Your partner or your friends, like everything just around you, your job, etc., will just present you, will just mirror you your inner world. Like this is then like the outer world is your inner world. You will see in everything around you what you feel in yourself. And if you don't like what you get in, then change what you put out. So this is also like, if you're then like in tune with your own energy and frequency, just change how you're speaking to someone around you, how is your energy level to someone around you, and you will just see that the mirror around you will just put on a different face. And I know, and this is like, because like where I'm coming from, I know that it's so hard and then it can be so hard to change, even if you're have been in depression, going through anxiety, etc., to start to love into the mirror when you just want to cry. But at the end, so you need to find a way where you can release those emotions, that you really start smiling to the mirror, and that it smiles back from a heart aspect.
Yes. And we have to do the work. Like, we cannot suppress it. It will come up one way or the other. Because we are hardwired for healing. Our body is designed for healing. That it does that all the time automatically until we really break it, through like very weird industrial conditioning. But we are hardwired to heal. It's like the self-healing is not some esoteric, spiritual, woo-woo something. No, this is straightforward scientific biology. That's how the body is designed. So we cannot escape healing. And the further we push it away and postpone it, the more aggressive it will jump into our face. Like one day or the other, it will come. That's for sure. So that's really the calling to everybody who's listening and who's like, I know I need to take care of my depression or my anxiety or of this and that habit or of that self-hatred or this self-denial or this like shyness, whatever it is. Like, and I know it's hard, but it will get harder and harder. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. So really, and that's what nature is teaching us. Winter is hard. The later you realize that winter is hard, the more likely you're already cold because you dressed wrong and you get fucked up, right? Or like here, the summertime is teaching that as well. Like nature is teaching that. The summertime is teaching me like, girl, if you can't get out in the morning at 11 a.m., it's not getting better because the heat is so strong. It's just getting worse, So it's like, just do it. Or recently I had this lesson very tough again. I went... on New Year's, we went to a day party on the 1st. And already at 4 p.m., I was like, I'm done with this party. I want to get home. But it's a very long way home. You got to walk to the beach. You got to take the boat. Got to take the bike home or get picked up. Got to wait for the boat.
Oh, have you been on Compagnon on the
other side?
Oh, yeah. Nice.
But it was like, I don't want it such a far way. So me, idiot, already tired from the party, I waited until 8 p.m. Wow, as if it's not far when you're even more tired and fucked up from the party. Like, it's worse and worse. Like, it felt like hell, seriously, So, the longer you wait, the worse it gets. So that in reverse, in a positive way, means The earlier start, the easier it is. So right now is the easiest point ever. It will never be a better, easier point to start as right now. No matter how hard it seems, now is the easiest and best timing to start. And I hear so often people, yeah, but first I gotta take care of this and this. No. You take care of your inner work, of your healing, of your dreams, and being who you want to be, how you want to be. The rest will follow. That's this incredible thing. People are like, no, I first need to do the business and first fix this in a relationship and take care of this bloating or whatever. No. You start with your inside and you will just see, and then you can lean back and the rest falls into place. It's like, okay, it's like a domino thing and everything like super beautifully is unfolding.
Exactly. And this maybe to mention like at the last part to the manifestation, as you said, because if we're not starting now, it's the same like the only moment is now. It will all the time only be now. So we will never feel fully ready. So we just need to start, because this is also like a procrastination and we need to do that and need to be ready, or we need to have this certificate, etc. So like we just need to start. And when it comes about manifestation, and the problem is why then gratitude again is so important, because if you then start to manifest from a point where you're feeling like lonely or not fulfilled, of course, what will you attract then? Only lonely people or lonely relationship or nothing what is really fulfilled. So my just really maybe fully different tip regarding to manifestation, not like how you want to manifest anything, because there are really some techniques what you can do, also what kind of rituals you can do, but just start today to, as I mentioned with the simple basic grounding things, start to do now, have today, live today your best life, and kind of do now what you can do to feel the best in your body, in your home, etc. Because when you're then feeling good, then the right ideas will come. Then will not the ideas come which like are with an intention, or like which are coming from something with a lack. And this is then when you're not fulfilled. So just make sure that you just feel good and be in gratitude, and then you will automatically manifest whatever you want, because like your manifestations are manifesting you at the same time. Like the thing, like what you seek is what you seek is seeking you already. So your manifestation is done already. So just make sure you're in a happy place and everything will follow by itself. So forget about the rituals, forget about the techniques, just make sure you're happy, and your manifestations will then make a dance and come to you, kind of. Yeah.
I love that. Like the happy manifestation dance. So that's how I'm going to start visualizing them. Just like happy dancing around me. And they all have little fat bellies. And like going to wear cute little crop tops. Yes. I like that vibe.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. We're already at the end for today. And I'm sure one day we will have a part 2 to this. I really enjoyed this conversation. By the way, dear listeners, German listeners, there will be now another episode on Christina's podcast. Now your podcast name slipped my mind.
It's KIJU World.
KIJU World. Okay. Every link, anyways, you will find below in the description. Her podcast, her Instagram, a direct link to all her offerings. She has a yoga teacher training coming up in Germany. She has group coaching. She has group retreats. She has one-on-one coaching. She has many classes on demand. She has a plethora, a huge variety of ways to work with her. Her ways are wide open for you to be deeper benefiting from her great talent. Okay, you will find everything below in the description. That being said, it was an incredible pleasure having you here. I so enjoyed this connection. So great to be sharing this with all your listeners. Thank you so much for listening. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Just like saying thank you so much. It's my pleasure. I'm looking so forward for the next interview in German, and yeah, let's see. I'm quite sure we will see us soon in Copenhagen.
Yay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. It's always the best place to see people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I hope
Bye.
to see you all super soon again. Make sure to hit the subscribe, follow, comment your questions below, share with your beloved ones. This is like, we are young, small business owners. If you want to support us and not only complain about the big ones, then you got to support us. Make the move. For you, it's one freaking click. For us, it means the world. Okay? So if you enjoy that, give us this one single click. It means the world. We love you. Thank you so much for listening, and see you soon.